Because on this day, I see clearly.
I'm hoping that they are going to be playing, because if it's ever going to happen, it's bloody now.
Because if this could be Edge's last Mania.
Say that every year.
Yeah.
This is WrestleMania Sunday predictions. We've just done our WrestleMania Saturday predictions. Wearing the same clothes in all of them. It is all being filmed at the same time, I do promise. But we are filming these on 30th of March, which is a Thursday.
Yeah, we're Thursday.
And we are going to do our predictions for night 2. They have recently just announced, today is in fact the matches that will take place on WrestleMania Sunday. Of course, always subject to change. This card always is. But we'll see what we've got for night 2.
Because at the minute, this one is one match shorter than day one.
Yeah, so does that mean potentially they might look at adding something? Or is that going to be a segment?
Well, the Bobby Lashley thing still in the air, but I know he's doing the Battle Royal.
So, actually, that's probably the best point for us to start with then. So, the Battle Royal, the big rumour at the moment, of course, because we were supposed to get Bray Wyatt versus Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. Of course, that match isn't going to happen now due to health problems with Bray. Lashley's definitely going to be on Mania, isn't he? Because it's not his fault that that's happened.
It is.
And it would be good to have Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley is a main player. And I think, in all honesty, I know the rumours have been LA Knight, but I think it could be LA Knight. Like, we'll see.
Yeah, we will see, because I don't...
Snap.
Because Brian Cage, contract runs out in Ring of Honor, and he wants to face Bobby, because obviously they're the same...
That's where we're after Mania, isn't it? Maybe we should do predictions for that, but... We'll go for the matches then. So what is announced for WrestleMania Sunday? We do have the Goliath versus Goliath match of Brock Lesnar taking on Omos. So this was a match I think a lot of people moaned and complained about, isn't it? Because it is a Vince McMahon idea. Apparently this is what he wanted maybe last year.
I think it is actually a Vince McMahon thing.
I don't have an issue with it. I think it's going to be... It's cool for Omos... because he's in there with a name like Brock, and apparently reports where Brock didn't want to work with Bray. So
no, like they don't like. It's not like they don't like each other. It's more like, I have no offense, but I don't want to work with you kind of way.
Maybe the creative direction of it, but Omos. The only thing I would say for this one is that Omos is incredible in terms of like to look at for an on-screen presence.
Yeah,
amazing. Not much credibility though. For me, like I don't see as big as Omos is. When Omos is in the ring, I think it's impressive, but I don't see him as a threat because he comes up short in big match situations.
Yeah, the Strowman one exactly.
Strowman and that whole thing for that even at Crown Jewel was just all the offense is Omos, and again it demonstrates the power and it's impressive, but. Then what was it? 2 moves, 3 moves?
It wasn't that much, was it?
And it's a power slam, and that's the end. And I just think I like it. It's gonna get a pop regardless. It will. But we're building this whole thing here with Brock's lost the confidence because he's in there with Omos, and the whole thing like with MVP saying, you can't F5 this man, you can't do that. Obviously, he's going to F5 him.
Yeah.
We all know it's going to happen. And the thing is, it's Brock Lesnar. He could F5 a building. It's obviously going to happen. But when we said in the previous predictions video for night 1, sometimes something is predictable. It doesn't necessarily make it a bad thing. This match is just going to be about the pop, isn't it? It's going to be the moment when Brock gives him the F5. Yeah, but Brock Lesnar beats Omos here, I think.
Well...
Omos needs the win, but it's just... I can't see it happening here. I think Brock beats Omos.
Remind me, did Omos lose against Bobby? No, he beat Bobby, didn't he, last year, Mania?
He did, didn't he? I actually can't remember. But that goes to show, doesn't it? I mean, we can have a look.
Yeah,
but
I'm worried, though, this is going to be the Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman or the Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe type match where he gets beaten up, few suplexes, 1 F5, done. That's what I'm worried it's going to be. But
yeah, maybe. I'm saying Lesnar.
I'm going for Omos because I think it's going to be in the same vein as Ryback Mark Henry, where he picks him up but gets dropped because he can't lift him up properly. Even though it's Brock Lesnar, he can lift up Big Show about a million times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's like when John Cena would struggle to pick up Umaga, but he would pick up Big Show.
But I don't think they would have gone to all the trouble of doing the weigh-in segment just for Omos and not for Lesnar, they wouldn't have gone to all this trouble of doing a weigh-in segment to say, oh, Omos is £450 or whatever it was, if Brock Lesnar wasn't going to successfully hit the F5. And he's definitely going to German him.
Yeah.
Germans are going to happen, everybody. There's going to be a few of them, but it's going to happen. I don't think this will be a very long match anyway, but
if it's
I'll say Lesnar.
If it's 6-7 minutes, I'll be fine with it.
That's probably what I'm
if it's
thinking.
Even though I've complained, it's like, I hope it's not like a Strowman or the Samoa Joe match. I kind of want to be the 33 against Goldberg time match.
Yeah, like through barricade and...
Yeah, have fun with this, like 5-minute fun match.
I think we can have fun with it, can't we?
Yeah.
But okay, so we've got a difference of opinion for that one. That's good.
Yeah.
That's going to give somebody a chance to maybe pull away with our predictions battle anyway. Let's go for next the WrestleMania Showcase then. This is the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. Bit of a weird build to this one, but you've got Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez taking on Natalya and Shotzi, taking on Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville, who just recently qualified, and Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, who didn't need to qualify.
No,
unlike all of the other teams in every other showcase.
And considering Ronda Rousey's supposed to be injured.
Yeah. Joe, I think Ronda and Shayna are my picks. But my dark horse picks would be Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville.
They would be my pick if it wasn't for the fact that it would have been Chelsea Green with Carmella if she didn't get hurt.
Yeah, but that's sometimes a good way to swerve it, isn't it? Because you think, well...
Do you know what?
I'll say Ronda and Shayna, though, just because...
I'm going for Chelsea and Sonya.
You're going to do it?
Yeah, I'm going to go for it.
That's... In the showcase match for previous night, we've gone for some strange picks, haven't we? But you can check that video out anyway.
Right. I've not gone for a strange pick in the men's one.
You always go for strange picks, unless they're the same as Betty.
Strange picks that always win, sometimes.
Let's talk about Hell in a Cell. I am so excited for this one.
I am
so excited.
But it feels like it's been overdue.
Overdue.
Maybe because it's Edge and we don't like most legends, we don't see him a lot. But I'm looking forward to this one because
yeah. Is it overdue though? The sense that like obviously this kind of stuff was. Well, actually, I suppose yeah, it is longer, isn't it? Because obviously you're going to get Dominic and Ray on night one, and that kind of started at Clash. But yeah, well, it started way before Clash, didn't it? This is basically
SummerSlam. Pre-SummerSlam.
Probably, well, it's going to be pre-SummerSlam. I mean, the actual Judgment Day began to form at last year's WrestleMania with Damian Priest, who's now the sideline.
Who's not got a match? I don't think... is he in the Battle Royal? He might be. He might win.
Do you know what could be funny is if they do a repeat of last year's WrestleMania and Damian Priest just appears at ringside and distracts Finn Balor just like he did to AJ last year. And
just stand there like...
And they do Judgment Day 2.0. Yeah, you could do that, yeah.
I'm doing Damian Priest what he did last year.
Yeah, just do that. That works. Outside interference sometimes is just stand there, stare, and that's enough to win.
As Balor doesn't hit his face on the entrance ray like AJ did.
There'll be that much smoke, I think, for his entrance we wouldn't notice, but it is going to be the demon Finn Balor going up against Edge, where he's in this darker place. He'd referred to himself as the devil. So I don't think he's going to come out as MJF, but yeah, strange things have happened. Yeah. It has actually happened. Strange things. And Rhea Ripley was in the little commercial for it. And obviously we've dropped the Hell in a Cell pay-per-views for premium live events, and we're going to save them for the big matches. Long overdue maybe, but it's WrestleMania. And I think this is where you do your blow off, isn't it? You blow them all off at WrestleMania. Because it's the only place big enough for the blow.
It's going to be windy.
It's going to get windy. Edge, I think I loved Edge's entrance last year when he came up through the fire on that like throne, and it was like they did do the Brood music first, didn't they?
They did.
I think they
did it for both, because I remember them doing SummerSlam.
No, they didn't do Brood music. It's because last year he was still coming out to the other side from Alter Bridge. And speaking of Alter Bridge, we do think that they could be there.
I'd like to think so. Kind of in the same way, I think, because they're from California, POD might bring out Rey Mysterio.
Oh, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? Yeah. Apparently Alter Bridge are playing in LA on the Saturday, so, you know, they could very well be there. It's something I think a lot of us wrestling fans have wanted for a long time, especially who are just general fans of Alter Bridge. I mean, they're our favourite band.
Yes.
Like, genuinely our favourite band. So, I think doing a live... I am a little worried about it, though.
I'm worried about it because I think they're just going to have, like, the pre-recorded album version, have Miles probably sing live lyrics over.
I don't know. It's not so much that, but it's, that sometimes, like, because the setup isn't really properly set up for a band to play live.
No.
Right? And so what I'm worried about is that Alter Bridge go on, and people that maybe aren't familiar with them, and they are amazing. We've seen them live like so many times.
Yes.
And they are so good. But when you're watching it on TV and it's like the mix isn't exactly as it should be, it might come across, because Miles has a very unique voice, and I'm a little worried. But at the same time, it's WrestleMania. Like we said, we don't know if we could. The stars might not align again for this to happen, and Finn Bálor could come out to the Judgment Day one as well, which is also Alter Bridge. If they're there, if they're already out, why not? Just do both.
And this is probably because Edge has said he wants to retire in Toronto, and that's about SummerSlam time. So this is probably a better time than ever. If not now, it has to be SummerSlam, because remember that Clash and how loud people were singing the song.
It's got to happen.
And every time.
Come on, Alter
every
Bridge.
time Edge has come back, that's like the noise for the song is really good. Well, the rumor is, and it's been apparently seen in LA, Gangrel.
Oh wait, what?
Gangrel.
I thought it was Christian.
Who?
Dun, 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 dun.
The last time the three Edge, Gangrel, and Christian were at Mania together, they kind of did something in Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see that again, luckily. I don't think we will see that. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say Finn Bálor picks up the win.
I'm going for Edge, but the Demon can't lose 2 in a row.
So which is it then?
I'm going for Edge.
Right, so the Demon's losing 2 in a row.
But the Demon, it's the fact that the Demon shouldn't lose 2 in a row, but I want Edge to win.
The thing is, Finn Bálor for me, because Edge and Beth together got their
win back.
They got their win back at Chamber. So
yes.
I'm going to say Bálor. Sounds like you're going to change your mind.
Well, this is the thing. Bálor.
You talked yourself out of this.
No, I haven't. Edge is winning, but Bálor didn't pin Edge.
Right.
At Extreme Rules.
Well, he's going to at WrestleMania. Inside Hell in a Cell. So you can watch that on a WWE network, can't you? Okay, up next, I'm bloody looking forward to this one.
Oh, too right.
Intercontinental Championship. Triple threat. Some people are unhappy it's a triple threat.
Oh, screw him.
It's going to be reigning defending champion Gunther. And he's going to take on Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. This is going to be... This is going to be a hard-hitting match.
If there's one match I wish I was in the crowd for this show, it'd be this match.
Oh, wow. I think this is a good opportunity to take a title off of Gunther without him being pinned or made to tap out. But a big part of me wants Gunther to retain this. But I do think that we've put a lot of emphasis on Sheamus picking up that Intercontinental Championship to complete his... So is that the Grand Slam? Is
the Grand Slam, yeah.
Yeah, because it's the one title he's not won. So,
well, he hasn't won the Universal title.
Well, not the Universal,
but he's won a world title, the US Championship, tag titles.
This is a good time to do it for Sheamus, and I think there's a good chance it could happen. But I'm going to go. Oh no! What do I do?
I'll give my prediction.
Go on then.
Drew McIntyre.
See, he's the one that people aren't really talking about as much. But genuinely, I know we're joking about all these heel turns, but if there is a heel turn that could happen between Sheamus and Drew, that could happen there. But then if that does happen there, then that's going to leave the door open for Gunther to retain, potentially. And I am so leaning towards Gunther retaining. But I don't know if that's more because I just want him to be champion forever. Or
kind of like how I'm going to talk about Roman Reigns. I'm not ready for this reign to be over because it's the best Intercontinental reign in a long time. Probably since like The Miz, when he had his run as IC champion. But in a different way.
I'm going to go Sheamus. I feel bad because I think it's going to be Gunther. It's going to be Gunther, but I'm going to go Sheamus. Oh, I don't like it. I think it's going to be Gunther, but I'll pick Sheamus because why not? Nothing makes sense. All right, this one, again, we've talked about on the podcast and in previous videos and things about matches that maybe have not had the best build, but we're pretty certain they're going to be absolute bangers, ironically, after the one we just talked about. But Women's Championship. For the Raw Women's Championship, Bianca Belair retains against Asuka, or defends against Asuka, I should say.
That's his pick.
Well, it could be though, because it's weird. Because Bianca Belair, she's Miss WrestleMania. Yeah. I think at this point, I really do think that.
And hasn't lost a single match. She did get.
Not for some time, is it? I don't think. Certainly, at least not for the title. Obviously, no. She's been reigning champion since WrestleMania.
She's lost tag matches, but she hasn't lost singles matches since she got the title.
No, and as a champion, again, Bianca Belair's reign has been. The matches and stories have been a little bit like this, but Bianca Belair as a champion is believable, enjoyable, I think, more than anything else. Like, I like Bianca Belair and I enjoy her as champion, and that's not always the case with a lot of baby faces. So, Bianca Belair winning here, I would be okay with it, ordinarily, if it wasn't for the fact that Asuka now tapping into like the old school kind of stuff. I think Asuka should take it.
She should, and she will.
I think she will. I'm going to pick Asuka, but I wouldn't be surprised if they stick it longer on Bianca Belair. Okay, well, I think this is main event.
Yeah, it is.
The biggest WrestleMania main event, I think, in 9 years.
Basically, Big 27, The Miz and John Cena was built so well.
A huge main event, and this is an absolute testament to the WWE machine under Triple H at this point creatively, because anyone that's listened to the podcast, especially for a longer period of time, certainly knows that not massive fans of Cody Rhodes, to be honest, from his AEW run towards the end, but with the WWE machine behind him, much more likeable. But it's made sense more than anything. It feels deserving. And that probably sounds really pompous, but it's hard in a company like AEW that he helped create. When you see him all the time in all these stories, that it's just like he didn't come across for it necessarily very well in, especially for certain, like Go-Go and stuff like that.
Too right.
But he's come to WWE, he's come to work, he's he does put on good matches.
Yeah.
I think main event caliber, I think you have to say he is, really, at this point. Like you said, the entrance is going to be spectacular. Again, this is one of those things, like, sometimes you just got to... I didn't like him in AEW, and it used to annoy the hell out of me. And now, in WWE, this story, again, like, it makes sense. And I like that, like, there's no point sticking to someone and being like, I just don't like him. Like, make me like somebody if you want me to like them. That was the problem, ironically, with Roman Reigns for so many years, that it just was forced upon you and it just wasn't really what you wanted.
Yeah, it's like with John Cena, it took me a while to realise how good Cena is.
Cena's probably our best one, isn't it? Because more sort of from like, we're from the Attitude Era, but then we've got that crossover period of ruthless aggression growing up also. So we're we're there for like that whole change, and then the Cena stuff. But that was the big thing once upon a time, like people really, really soured on Cena quick. Everybody's really behind him at the moment because obviously, finished the story. They've integrated him so well with the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens stuff, but the thing is, like, people are so behind them that once he's out of it, and if he's champion and things like that, I don't know, it might be interesting to see if people turn on him a bit more down the road. It could happen, and it does happen a lot of times. So, but the biggest question really is, will Cody Rhodes actually defeat Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania, ending the 900 plus day reign? Because do they want to reach that 1,000 day mark? In which case, Roman's going to have to go over. Or, from a storybook ending perspective, like in terms of the most feel good way to close Mania would be Cody Rhodes beating Roman Reigns.
And but
I still am not fully convinced that it'll happen.
How many years now have we had the unhappy finish?
Well, last year
because day one seems to be the happy finish now.
I would argue that last year wasn't an unhappy finish because of the result. I just don't think people liked the match so much. And they sort of handcuffed themselves with that as it anyway, because it was another Roman and Brock main event at Mania. But that's not to take away from last year's Mania, because it was amazing. The best Mania in years.
The best one in years, and
but
my favourite show of the year, even though Clash, we were at Clash, it was like, that's a biased pick. But yeah.
Again, look, I'm happy going along with the whole thing, because this whole Bloodline stuff has been incredible. And it's just fitting, isn't it, that it's all in Los Angeles and
it's in Hollywood.
It's in Hollywood, and we've had the most like Hollywood builds to WrestleMania that we've had in like so long. That we've got to make a call. We've got to make a call.
Because I'm not ready for it to end, Roman.
Wow.
I'm not ready for it to end. But
I wouldn't mind Roman retaining. I want to put that out there. Yeah. If he stays champion forever, okay. But
the rumour is, and this is probably going to help with it, they're going to drop. There's the rumour they're going to drop the Universal title and bring back the big gold belt. Ooh. And who do you associate with the big gold belt? Really, WCW and the Rhodes family. Even though they never held it, it's more of a NWA/WCW thing, which is a Rhodes thing.
You're gonna go Roman?
I'm going for Roman because I'm not ready for this to end. I've been saying that for like 2 years.
Thing is, Paul Heyman could turn heel.
Brandy Rhodes could turn heel.
Paul Heyman could turn heel on the heel, which would make him turn face. Based on the way this has all been booked, if you want the storybook ending, it's Cody Rhodes. This is the first time I've bet against Roman Reigns since he won the Universal title. But they've got me, and I think it's Cody Rhodes.
I won't be against it, but I'm not ready for them title to end.
This is going to be a very tense main event match for us.
But he is running out of people, like we say, and
I'm going to say Cody. You're going to say Roman?
Roman.
That's going to be the main event of WrestleMania Sunday. It's going to close off the whole thing. I think this is going to be probably certainly got all the opportunity in the world to be one of the best WrestleManias ever.
It should be.
On paper, at least. Really, really looking forward to it. Let us know, everybody, what your predictions are for WrestleMania. It's this weekend. Have a good one. See you later. Look after each other. Have a good WrestleMania weekend. And if you're here in the UK along with us, then get your energy in, because it's going to be a long couple of days.
Yeah.